Monkey shoulder. Should you grab the monkey? Stay tuned for the whiskey whistle. Heyo, my whiskey people. Mark here from Whiskey Whistle on YouTube, sharing a little whiskey awesomeness from Winnipeg, the center of North America, bringing you a re-review of Monkey Shoulder. Now, this is 40% ABV. This is the Asia, the UK version. You can get it for 43% in USA. So this is the 40%er. And we'll get that poured. Now, one comment I have to make, again, this has a really loose cork, and I wish that they would make sure that that's sealed properly. So William Grant & Sons, please check your cork and make sure that they do the job they're supposed to. Let's get that poured. I'm guessing most monkeys, when they're open, don't stay full very long. They get drunk quick. I hear this is a huge performer in bars, in restaurants, for mixing, for serving neat. Price-wise, attractive price. A little bit expensive where I am. It's about $60 Canadian, and it's just way too expensive for what it is. It should be in line with, let's say, Naked Grouse, which is about $44 Canadian. All right, so as a re-review, we'll check this out and we'll see how it's doing. We'll check out the color, we'll check out the legs, we will check out the nose and the palate neat, and then also the nose and the palate with water, and give it a Whiskey Whistle whiskey score, all right? So stay tuned through all of that, and while we're at it, why not subscribe to the channel? That way, you'll get notified of the future Whiskey Whistles. Hit the bell as well, and jump in and support me on Patreon. If you're enjoying Whiskey Whistle, check me out on Patreon, patreon.com/whiskywhistle. Get your name in the credits, and you'll also get advanced viewing of the future Whiskey Whistles. Sound good? I hope so. Does this have color added? Absolutely it does. This is from William Grant & Sons, and Balvenie, Glenfiddich, Kinninvie, Ailsa Bay. I believe none of those state natural color for any of the products, so we have to assume that this would be colored as well. Okay, the legs. So what is Monkey Shoulder? If you didn't see my first review, well, it's basically a triple malt, although that's changing. But this is a blend of Glenfiddich, the Balvenie, and Kinninvie. And then the fourth thing that they will be adding, and they will do away with the triple malt language on the websites if they haven't already, and that is Ailsa Bay. They already have a Smoky Monkey out, which I'm very, very interested in trying. And if anybody in Canada has one and you're interested in sharing, please do send me a sample if you don't mind. All right, here we go. What kind of legs do we have here? Well, for legs, they're very quick. They're a little bit flat, not very defined. The secondary legs are a little bit slower, but 40% ABV, that's what we should expect, and it should be fairly light and simple in terms of mouthfeel. Let's see if I'm right. Okay, onto the nose. Oh, a quick shout out to a big follower of the channel, and that is Scotty over in Scotland, I believe. Hey, Scotty, hope you're doing all right. Sorry this review took so long for me to get out. I apologize. Cheers, buddy. All right, so on the nose, I feel like we have a good lot of Kinninvie added in there. It's a little bit floral. Then we have some Balvenie, young Balvenie in there, which is very malty and floor malted and all the stuff we love. But the backbone is still going to be Glenfiddich here. And I would guess they're all refill casks, probably third fill with a little bit of second fill and maybe a dash of first fill. just for that added flavor and body. And you won't see people talk about it much, but the Spirit Caramel is known to be a flavor enhancer to a degree, and it can cover up certain flaws in a young whiskey. And just the color of this, it's just super orange, clearly colors added. This bottle came from South Korea, and it's marked all in Korean, 40% ABV. All it says is whiskey 100%, and it doesn't mention anything else. If this were a European bottle, then it would list mit Farbstoff or mit Zuckercolor if it's from Germany. Anyway, clearly that's what we have here. But anyway, let's see how this is for what it is, and we'll see if it's worth getting here in 2020. Again, fresh, floral, malty. There's a little bit of sherry content here. There's a little bit of vanilla first fill bourbon as well. But it's a nice nose. It's not fully interesting. And there's a slight spirity note here. But overall, decent. All right, on to the palate. Cheers, folks. On the palate, you really get the sherry casks coming through, and some kind of pretty active ex-bourbon, whether that's second fill or first. A little bit of burnt toast. A little bit of cranberry. Even in the finish, cranberry, that dry, unusual kind of flavor. A hint of mint. Kind of like an apple mint. If you took an apple flavored gum and a mint and you ate them together. There's a slight severe astringency on the palate if you keep it in your mouth too long. And I think that is partially old casks, partially color, the color added, the E150A, and partially because it's young. Okay, let's add a couple of drops of water. Almost no point in doing so, but we'll do that anyway. 1, 2. We'll add 3. 43% would absolutely make this a better choice. So if you do like Monkey Shoulder, if you like Glenlivet, if you like Glenfiddich and Balvenie, and you're interested in trying Kinninvie, grab one of these and see how you like it. Not much has changed. A little bit of graham crackers. And again, a little bit of aggressive spirit that hits me all the way up into my eyes. On to the palate with water. Cheers. It becomes more astringent. It loses sweetness. It gains some floral / vegetal notes. The finish is still kind of candy-like, a little bit of that apple mint gum. Short to medium finish. Coming back on this, however many years, almost 5 years. Well, 40%, I have to say I wouldn't buy that again. 43% I might, and I'll be very interested in trying the Smoky Monkey. It needs to be aged a little bit longer, about a year at least. It needs some fresher casks, and just tone down on the color a little bit, and I think you'll have something a little bit more attractive. And even right now, I've got the taste in my mouth that is similar to the taste of certain candies and sweet popcorns that are heavily colored, like the red dye, red Smarties, and you get that flavor in your mouth. And I'm dealing with this now, and it's not pleasant, and I'm not enjoying it at all. Throw some ice in there, put it in a cocktail, and I'm sure it'll do better than your standard red label or things like J&B, for example, or Ballantine's Finest, which isn't their finest. But anyway, I think that will do better. You are paying more, but you'll be getting what you're paying for. The best thing about it is the palate. Nice little bit of spice. Not as waxy as I remember, and I don't think as Kinnenvied as the last batch that I had was. That may very well be the Ale Sabé, which is a bit younger, coming through. Anyway, I'm gabbing way too long here. Let's get on to the WhiskyWhistle whiskey score for Monkey Shoulder. What is that going to be, folks? The WhiskyWhistle whiskey score for Monkey Shoulder. The WhiskyWhistle whiskey score for Monkey Shoulder blended malt Scotch whiskey. That is going to be 74 out of 100. You heard it, 74 out of 100 is the WhiskyWhistle whiskey score for Monkey Shoulder blended malt Scotch whiskey. In certain markets, great value. Canada, not so much. I think that's going to be the last re-review I do of that until I get the Smoky Monkey, as I mentioned. So anyway, thanks so much. Subscribe right over here. Check me out on Patreon, and hopefully we'll see you again very soon. Take care, folks. My name's Mark. We'll see you again.